Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to Rise and Shine College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. He's Big Mike Boganowski. And if you love college football, you know you're in the right place because it's hate week. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame college football. What's up, everybody? What's up, Big Mike? How we doing?
Man, I can't complain, man. It's a great day. Beautiful morning up here.
The actual start of hate week as of, I guess, yesterday. But we've already been in hate week for all this time. So good times, good times, good times. Welcome into the show, everybody. There's Jimmy Satterfield Chicken already kicking people out. I already see him in there doing his thing. That was me telling everybody we were coming. Benji, what's up, my dude? Who else we got in here? Stink ass cat. T-Boomer. What's up, guys? Welcome into the show, everybody. Glad to see everybody. Make sure that you wipe your feet as you get in here. Let us know that you made it in. And since Benji's in the house, we'll go ahead and throw this up.
The brand has finally returned. Fuck your brand.
Shout out to Onakuno. All right. When do you get your royalties for the intro? You don't. You don't. And you gotta behave with all the booting real quick. Mike Diablo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Jimmy Satterfield, good to see you, my man. Good to see everyone. Your royalties for what intro? I don't even know what he's talking about. Chicken, you crazy. All right, guys, good to see everybody. Glad to see everybody. Hope everybody likes the new look. I'm experimenting with this stuff, but it seems like it's going pretty good so far. We've got 22 folks in here right now. Make sure you guys hit that like button as you come in. It is hate week. We're going to talk lots of shit today. Lots of fun. First Red River game for you as a parent of a player in this game. What are your thoughts?
I'm super excited, dude. Like, I can't wait. This was always a thought, like playing in this game. And when we were, when Mike was making his decision, I was like, dude, you go to Oklahoma, you're going to play in probably the biggest rivalry game, like in football, in Texas and Dallas. I was like, that's a big stage, dude. And, that we always thought about that. And my old roommate, the quarterback, Casey Ensminger, he was always talking about that. He's like, dude, you need to get him on the national stage. And but yeah, that was, it's always been there, man. And I'm super pumped. Like, Mike came home this weekend for, on the bye week and hung out. And he's kind of he's an even keel type of dude. He doesn't get too pumped up. He doesn't get too excited or whatever. I feel like I'm more excited than he is. But yeah, man, I'm pumped. I cannot wait to experience this. I've been watching it on TV for years, so it's gonna be sweet to be in the building.
Hey, man, no doubt at all. It's Kimberly K, welcome into the show. She said, I woke up this morning seeing Baby Sark. I love it. Martin Diablo, welcome into the show. Sooner Brandon, good to see you guys in here. It is hate week. You know what? BU at Big 12 with, I think that's Pat. Yeah, dude. You obviously know nothing about this rivalry. But you know what? It doesn't surprise me that this is the kind of thing coming from them. Because as we've seen, get ready for the bloodiest loss in Sooner history in the Red River Battle, which will this year be a massacre. Shocker. I'm shocked that he's still in there, by the way, mods. But at least for now. No kicking them out for very long, but you can definitely kick out, trash talkers. It's okay.
I mean, is it really? It's an upset to everybody else.
It's an upset.
You know what I mean?
I'll tell you though, everybody, it seems like, unless you're an Oklahoma fan or somebody who really pays attention, everybody's picking Texas. Everybody's picking Texas in a big way. Like Oklahoma's just trash,
Yeah.
It's wild to me.
Like we talked about before the show started, man. Give me them. Hey, DraftKings, take all my money. I'm taking that bet.
Take it all.
Take it all, bro. Take it. I'm broke, but I'm trying to come up.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like one of the things that I love about it is that they're ranked number 1 again. With Alabama losing the other day, and we'll get into some of these amazing upsets from the other day, but with Alabama losing the other day, that makes them first time they come into the Red River as number 1 since 1984, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
1984. Which tells you a little something about Texas. But shit, they haven't played anybody. They haven't played anybody. I don't get it. Even Michigan is trash. You know why we know? Because they lost to a bad Washington team that just lost Kalen DeVore this week. Yeah, they beat USC, which doesn't look as good anymore because they can't beat Minnesota. I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
Hey man, college football is wild.
College
you can't make sense. You can't make sense of it. There's no way possible. Like there's no way you can make sense of what happens on a weekly basis. Like you can't compare like, well, we did this to that team and this team did that. We should be good. Dude, that's why you play the games. And every Saturday is a roller coaster, man. There's nothing you can do to try to predict and know who's going to win a game because you just never know, man. It is unbelievably crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, and so he said, just think OU takes down the number 1 ranking from Texas would be the sweetest upset in history. Absolutely. You know what? To be honest with you, though, it's what they do.
I don't know if that's going to be history. Like, I'm probably putting the Vandy win this week.
I'm going to say no to that. I'm going to say no to that. I'm going to say no to that. Yeah, and give Vandy a little bit of love for God's sakes. You know, amazing. They were 0-60 against top 5 teams.
Yeah. 0-60. We'll get. I didn't mean to send us on. We'll get into that. But yeah.
Battle tested. Texas ain't ready.
Correction, Brandon. Correct.
It's complete.
That's an underrated comment right there. Like that is a real thing in college football. That's a real thing.
Yeah, feels like the same stuff we heard from. Oh, looky there. Feels like the same stuff that we heard from Tennessee game week. Looky there. He gets his first timeout of the day. Bye, Benji. That's $5.
We can look at that on from both sides. Like Tennessee thought they were going to come in and beat us by 50. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, we said the same stuff. Hey, Tennessee, y'all playing a bunch of powder puffs. What's going to happen when you play it? Look what happened in the last 2 games against a team with a pulse. 25 and what they score the other night? 20?
14. 19-14 was the final score in that game. And look, and listen, what did you hear out of Arkansas? They just said, I mean, K. Chris was talking about it on the Horns Down podcast last night, which, by the way, folks, you got to make sure that you get over there and check out the Fanatic Perspective tonight. K. Chris and Seth will be on there ready to get after it with Nino and or Steven, from Fanatic Perspective. They're going to do their trash talk deal tonight. It'll be on Fanatic Perspective. So make sure you guys get over there, check that out, and give K. Chris your support. You know I'm going to be there. That's a fun stream. Did it last. I saw him last year. They've been doing it every year for a few, but it's definitely worth it. Got to get in there and check that out. But yeah, he was talking about that last night. That Arkansas basically, I mean, they even said we just did exactly what we saw that OU did on defense, and it did the same thing. And it just kind of bolsters a little bit more that, listen, you don't have those turnovers. Oklahoma's undefeated in this game too.
Yep.
You don't have those turnovers. Even if you just let's say that if he doesn't turn the ball over inside the 5, they get a field goal there. Or even just one of those turnovers doesn't happen. You know what I mean? You get a field goal there, that makes it 10-6 at the half instead. You don't get there's a lot of things that could have happened. But basically, if Michael Hawkins plays in that game, I truly believe there's no way they lose.
Yeah.
Because all that bullshit that they were talking about, that that hype let off the gas, all this crap. Now we're finding out not true. And I've been telling you guys that anyways. It was bullshit. Because I know you can go in there. There's plenty of video evidence on Twitter that people have pulled of them playing 8-man in the box, press man, all that other kind of stuff. And they did not pull their damn starters out on offense either. Don't give me that shit. If he tried to pull some of it back so that he kept his quarterback upright, yeah, I can get that. But he wasn't trying to slow the game down because he didn't want to freaking run up the score. They couldn't move the ball.
Yeah.
They were sacking him, turning him over. Go ahead.
I'm not revisionist. Like I, if ifs were fists, we'd all be drunk. You know what I mean?
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
The Tennessee, they did what they had to do. We gave them the game, and it is what it is. But the blueprint was laid out.
Trying to make is though the idea that Oklahoma is so bad in comparison to Texas is silly shit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. We're revising the Tennessee week, like in the narrative, and you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean,
no.
Doubt us, doubt them boys.
And I'll give Benji the one thing. He says who the team played earlier doesn't mean anything this week, and that's right. Except it kind of does. You guys have not been tested. You have not been tested. You haven't had an offense that's tested you whatsoever. And to be quite honest, that's the biggest thing to me is that your defense that everybody's talking about, oh, it's good that we're ranking at the top of everything. Well, that's because you haven't played anybody that has an offense that it can match up with you whatsoever. Michigan, one-dimensional, completely one-dimensional. And that's the thing. You didn't have anybody that could match up with you man for man. And you have that now. Let's just talk about the differences in last year and this year. And you didn't beat Oklahoma a year ago with a better football team than you have on the field today. Plain and simple. Those 11 guys that went to the draft are not still there. And it's less about that offensive side of the ball for you guys because here's the first thing. You're not going to put up a bunch of points on this defense. You're not going to happen. It doesn't matter if it's Quinn. It doesn't matter if it's Arch. I kind of hope it is Quinn because I think Arch might be better. The thing is though, either way, Arch hasn't seen anything like they'll throw at him, and Quinn has already struggled against this defense. We've seen it.
Yeah.
The 14 and a half points, guys. Again. Why do you think that is? That's because all the bets that have come in on Texas. It didn't start there. Anyway.
What's a bunch of points?
That is a bunch.
What is a bunch of points?
What's a bunch of points? I don't think you get it in the 30s. I don't think you get it in the 30s.
Yeah,
I hope it is. I don't care who it is, really. Either way, they turned Quinn over 3 times last year. This is a better defense than what you had last year. Period. Plain and simple. Better defense.
Yeah.
The front line that you guys were supposed to dominate last year, you didn't last year, and it wasn't near as good as what it is right now. The front 7 overall, come on. So what are you going to do with that? You don't have as good of a running game. That was really the only thing that, Jonathan Brooks did his thing last year. You don't have Jonathan Brooks anymore. CJ Baxter's hurt. The running game hadn't been great.
No.
Over-under, I believe, is 54. That's the thing. If you look at the over-under on this, right, it's 54.5, I believe. Wasn't that right? I want to say it's 54.5. I think I saw that the other night. 14.5 is a shit ton for it to be under 54. So you would have to believe that Oklahoma's not going to do shit.
It's 51 now on DraftKings.
51, even more so. Yeah.
Yep.
Neelio Super Chat, $5.
Welcome into the show,
Good morning,
Neelio,
Mr.
and
Jason
thank you
and Big
for the
Mike.
super chat.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mr. Jason and Big Mike. Good morning to everybody else. Hey, thank you for the
Morning.
super chat, my friend. I don't know.
21-17, huh?
21-17. I guess that would be under, but they wouldn't cover. And they certainly wouldn't cover whenever I know you're saying OU. So, yeah, 14.5, though, that'd be tough. Texas offense only scored 23 last year. That's correct. That's correct. And they gifted them 10 points off of turnovers or off of in special teams, on special teams.
Yeah.
Yes, they have bought into the stupid stuff. Remote busy economy says Texas fans have eaten the rat poison and bought into the stupid polls. Hype that Tennessee fell 4-2. Yeah, I mean, MSU game was close for 3 quarters. It was. That's the whole thing. Mississippi State. Look, Jeff Levy knows how to move the ball on that team, but the thing is they had nothing. You should have probably blown them out.
Yeah.
Should have blown them out because they're bad.
Not very good.
They're not very good. 31-13 would also be under. But that again, this is still in order for Texas to win by that much, it'd be the under as well. But I'm gonna tell you that way. Hit that like button, people. Come on now. Thank you.
Is that your bet, the under?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be under for sure. But I've got them on them. I've got Oklahoma on the money line.
Yeah.
I don't even care about the points. I think it's funny. I think it's funny, but because that feeds in to OU feeling like underdogs. You know?
Yeah.
What's Mike saying in there? What are they talking about in the locker room? What's it been like? They feel disrespected?
You know, he hasn't really, I talked to him a little bit. I try not to, I try to just let him decompress, and not talk football too much, because I know once he sees other people, they're going to ask him, they're going to want to talk football. So I didn't really talk too much football with him. I just wanted to give him a break, but I didn't talk too much. I talked to him last night and told him, just lock in this week and prepare and make sure you're ready and you're not nervous, because if you my thought was, if you're nervous and you haven't prepared, you know what I mean. So just prepared and get your schoolwork done, so you don't have that hanging over your head. But I mean, I think that as a general, I think they do feel like they're slept on. I think they're rallying behind Mike. They all believe Mike's the dude, Michael Hawkins Jr. And I think that's just, what they needed. And like I said, this is just me from what I see, but like, you got that, you got him, helicoptering and jumping over people and, putting it all out there on the line. And I think, and I'm not saying Jackson Arnold, wasn't putting it all out there on the line.
No, I'm not.
But when they see Mike do that coming in as a freshman, like it's a big deal for him, man, and it motivates him, and it brings them tighter and makes them want to play hard for their quarterback.
Mm-hmm. No, well, I mean, that's the whole thing, is that you look at it as this is a different football team than people think it is. Yeah. You go in there and, I mean, even in that first start, you can look at that game and say, well, they didn't do anything offensively. It was the game plan was certainly not one to go out there and like kill him to go for the throat or any of that kind of stuff. They were definitely managing him and making sure that they didn't do anything crazy. But I think it's pretty clear that what we heard from Coach Stoops prior to the game is what they have to do. You've got to look at this point, let him go. He hasn't done anything to put the ball in harm's way. And that's the thing that I think is most impressive about him, is as a true freshman coming in there, he doesn't look rattled in any way whatsoever. And then he just flat out is getting things done and going out there and making throws in key situations. That throw to JJ Hester was insane.
Yeah, dime.
It was a dime, straight up dime.
Yeah.
And to make that throw at that time when you're down 10, you know you have to get it done. The run at the start of the game, yeah, I love it. You know, he third fastest guy in, you know, in college football last week. Great. But the truth of it is, you know, they held him back for a long time. And I didn't love the play calling. The truth is, though, now you've got 2 weeks that you've been preparing. I think that they probably installed a lot of stuff that wasn't there before because they were trying to cater to what Jackson wanted. And that was, I think that's been made pretty clear. Yeah. So to me, I think that no matter what, you're going to see a better offense out of them. And the other thing is that this Texas defense is not as good as everybody thinks it is. There's no way that it's better than it was a year ago. And it wasn't that damn good a year ago. Not on the back end. OU's going to be able to run the football.
No.
Get Taylor Tatum back, that's huge. I think that's huge for this game.
Yeah, he's got it, right? Like when you say it, like he sees the field, he sees the holes, he's setting up blocks. You know what I mean? He's pressing the holes, and he's got to make you miss, and he's got the home run speed. And you know, it's only once he gets that full off season under Schmitty, like next year, dude, he's gonna be a stud.
I agree. And you know, I don't know if you've seen it, but I've seen a couple of those videos going around of like just him working out and having without a shirt. He's already big as shit. He doesn't look like he's, you know, under the pads, he looks like he's a little guy.
No, I'm not saying he's not already built, but like,
oh yeah, another year.
Yeah,
no doubt.
But yeah, he's obviously got what it takes to play in the SEC. Like, you know, he's gonna, you know, he might not be, you know, breaking all the tackles like he may be next year, but he can definitely play and play well in the SEC this year.
Right. Yeah, but what they're getting there. Oh yeah, talking about K-State. K-State's looked really good, man. They look good. They got a big game coming up this weekend too.
Shout out DJ Giddens.
Shout out to DJ Giddens.
Get that boy his flowers.
Give that boy the rock.
Man,
give that boy the rock. Telling you.
I seen him at the JC game this weekend. He's a big boy. That doesn't really equate. Like you look at him like he's that fast and he got that much wiggle. I'm like, it's freaking nature.
Yeah, Benji, this is a stupid ass comment. A stupid comment. Talking about that he can throw a prayer that hits every once in a while. You haven't watched shit. That tells me right there you haven't watched shit as far as what Oklahoma's look like. Go back and look at the Tennessee game and the passes that layered passes that he was dropping in there. He was throwing dimes. Yeah, that tells me you don't know shit right there. Plain and simple. Haven't paid attention to nothing. Wow. He's picking Colorado over K-State. Attaboy. Attaboy. Just drive it home.
K-State going to have 350 yards rushing on them boys.
They are. They are indeed. I love it, though. I love it. Because the biggest reason I love it is because I know that this defense is better than it was a year ago. And Oklahoma's going to go in there and shut these guys down. And you better hope. And listen, we already know that Quinn's brittle. The guy gets hurt. Plain and simple. If he is back, and let's just say he is back because we keep hearing it from everybody that he'll be back. Okay. Yeah, layered passes. You know what a layered pass is, Benji? Let me make you understand it. There was a sideline route that he threw that most guys get that shit picked off. Not only did he throw it over the guy that was in front of the receiver, he threw it between the guy that was running with him. So up and over, and that's a layered throw.
Otherwise known as he's got touch.
Yes, he can throw the freaking ball in any way. He can hit the 60-yard home run, and he can also hit the 15-yarder that has to be perfect or it gets picked off.
That was a hell of a throw, man. When I was on a sideline away from where he threw it, right? And I seen that guy in the flat and he threw it, and I went like this. And I was like, oh snap. That was a hell of a throw.
When he threw it, I was sitting there watching it too. I was at row 11. You could see everything great.
Yeah.
Loved it. And I was like, oh, whoa. You know?
Yeah.
The other one that he threw, he hit the one to Bauer Sharp. He hit a couple of passes too that they got a couple of them called back the other day, you know, on penalties. But the one that he hit to Bauer across the middle, I mean, and it feels like he may have unlocked Bauer Sharp a little bit. You guys better hope to hell that your linebackers are ready to rock and roll, because that guy's going to be a target. If they get Deion Burks back, it's liable to turn around completely. Let's talk about Oklahoma beating Texas 8 of the last 11. Let's talk about some of this, because, you know, Texas, you know, they're acting like this matters, that whatever they want to say is Taylor Tatum has great hands too. Yes, he does. Eric Cardenas, welcome to the show. I live in Longview. I saw him do it all. So that gives Hawkins one more guy to throw to too. Getting him back is huge, especially since we're thinking at receiver. You're not wrong. Taylor is, I've been saying this since before the start of the year, that he's one of those guys. You could see it on film. He's not a jack. This dude is one of those guys.
Hey, I need to see swing passes to Tatum. I need to see 2-3 different variations of a screen to Tatum. Like, we got to get him the rock more than just handing it off to him. Like, we have to get him out on the edge. We have to get him out in space. Like, get your athletes out in space and let them work. And I got to see Tatum out there catching the rock.
Yeah. Look, I think that we started seeing some of the things that we were asking for last week, right? You know, and talking about, and you're absolutely right. Remote Biz. So if he can use his arm to score and get up by 10, Texas will start to pass more and panic. If they do, don't you feel this plays into OU's hands and they can unleash? Yeah, they can unleash everybody, which I think they're going to do that anyway. Because, well, you notice last year they did some of that. But this is the first year that they had 5 sacks on Quinn a year ago. And that, again, you're getting Deshaun McCullough back as well. Who, that dude is in the backfield on third down, especially. Oh, fun. Deshaun McCullough is one of those dudes. He's one of those dudes. If he's back in this game, you're in deep shit.
Dude,
because,
so long.
Dude, if you go back and watch the goal line stand from last year, every play he was in it.
Mm-hmm.
He made the first hit on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Even the swing pass, even when they threw it out to Xavier Worthy, Deshaun hit him. him and Billy was on that one too. But he took on the blocker and they both hit him. But he was hitting Brooks. He was taking on Sweat, and they had Sweat and Murphy in the backfield on 2 of those plays.
I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not going to be. I think that plays in the hand of the defense. Like, everybody thinks you got those big 300-pounders in there, but they're not accustomed to blocking.
That's
and
right.
Our linebackers slip their blocks every time. Every time they slipped them and made plays. They're just not used to it. If you're going to do anything, give them the ball. Shit.
Give them the ball. Give them the ball.
Yeah, that's a good question. I wonder about Hicks too.
What about Hicks?
Somebody asked Chicken ass, we haven't seen Hicks, Caleb Hicks.
We haven't. Somebody told me that Mike Jr. broke him.
Nah,
no,
no, wrong. Mike didn't break anybody, but he put somebody in the protocol, and it wasn't Hicks.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, Teddy and Gabe put that out in the universe. So yeah,
they did.
Yeah,
and I do remember this chicken. Freshman All-American at Indiana as a pass rusher. Absolutely. Look, and when he wasn't hurt last year, he was a bad dude. Plain and simple. There's no two ways around it.
I watched a lot of spring ball, and they had him. He was popping, man. Like, dude, I was so impressed with him. And they were running him at will. I think they were running him on the inside, Mike or Will. I can't remember which one it was, but they were just using people all over the place, seeing where how they were playing at each position. And man, Deshaun was all over the place, man. God. And he hit some kid right in front of me, and I was just like, I'm so glad I'm not in college football anymore. Dude. I was like, this dude, that big ass dude running around like that, hitting people, that doesn't even make sense, man.
Big salute, Bishop Frank. Leave no doubt. Hey, Bishop Frank's been keeping all these receipts. I hope you're still keeping them, because you know I am. Jason and Mike watched number 10 this week. Who are we talking? Bauer Sharp? I think Bauer Sharp's going to have a big day. I think he's going to have a big day.
He's got to own the middle of the field, man. And those seams and those quick little posts, those little bang eights in there, like, yeah, he's got to own that.
Listen, he looked good last week, man. He looked good, or 2 weeks ago, whenever they played Auburn too. And that's the thing. I think that you get more time to get it. And all we've talked about is that it got this defense time to get healed up, and I love it. I absolutely love the way they're coming in here. I don't care what Benji and any other Texas person is saying. I don't give a shit. Oh, and Kip Lewis on defense, of course. Dude, Kip Lewis, I don't think there's anybody that would tell you right now he hasn't been the defensive MVP of the last couple of weeks that they played. He was great. Great.
Well,
and you're getting it from everywhere, though, right? You're just getting a lot from everywhere, but he always seems to be in the right place.
That's what I was about to say. You're getting it from all levels, man. All levels.
And we were talking last week, and you were talking about. Let's talk about the defense a little bit, because that's where this thing starts and ends. If it's got to be about your defense, and we know that's the case. If they do their job, which I feel like they looked like they were a little tired against Auburn a little bit. And I think, look, when you have to exude as much energy as they did without the offense doing hardly anything until the second half, you felt like that makes sense, right? I think it looked like Danny Stutzman may have had a little bit of a stinger. He wasn't sticking his head in there like he normally would. Hopefully that's all worked out. But I'll tell you this, to me, I feel like you're looking at a situation where this defense is going to come in and do its thing. If you get a guy like DeSong back, there's another pass rusher. And look at what they've been doing there. They're leading the country in sacks. They're leading the country in turnovers forced. There's no way that I'd ever pick against OU. Well, no shit. No shit. Because you know why? I'll show you why. Because Oklahoma wins this game a lot more than it doesn't. I'll show you in a minute. I got something to show you guys in a minute. It wins a lot more than it doesn't.
Oh, he was talking about, you'll never pick Texas to beat Oklahoma. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I won't, probably. More times than not, I wouldn't. I think if Oklahoma was bad, because there's the thing, you guys are talking about OU being bad, though.
Yeah.
That is literally one of the things that's out there and going around from a lot of people that don't pay near enough attention. I've watched every play of Texas. Every play.
Yeah.
Every play. I think they're good offensively. I think they're not tested on either side of the ball whatsoever. I've seen things out of their defense and I'm like, okay. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it against Oklahoma. It's not going to cut it next week against Georgia. It's not going to cut it whenever you get into your game against A&M at all. It's not. There's a lot of shit that's been going on that you won't be able to get up in that Arkansas game and see how that works out with this defense. I'm telling you now, you're about to get tested by guys that can hurt you. Guys like Michael Hawkins, whether or not, however many of the guys are back, if you get more guys back, it's even worse. They could end up going out there and putting up a shit ton of points because he is special. He throws layered balls. He can freaking beat you with his legs too. That is the one ultimate equalizer in the game of college football. It will change games completely when you have a guy that's just as deadly on his feet as he is with his arm. We saw it with Caleb Williams coming back from 28-7 down. He played Superman all the time. This kid is just like that, only probably faster.
Yeah.
You know, Teddy said that he thought he was better by the time said he thought he was better by the time he was in spring practice, you know? Or no, Gabe said that. Gabe Archer.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be fun. Oh, I'm looking forward to the damn post-game show too, Benji. Believe me, we're gonna have lots of fun with that shit. If you don't hang around long.
Yeah. It can be all Oklahoma fans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Better be nervous, man. He's going to get hit a lot. Keep sleeping on us. We're comfortable in the underdog role. Oh, look at there. It's our guy. Coop. Go down.
The brand has finally returned. Fuck your brand.
You need to let the F-bomb roll in that, man. Just let the, don't bleep it out. It's got to go.
This week may be it. You may have to just do it this week.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? I mean, I can. Let me fix this because I have to.
I'm on the big screen.
Hey, yeah, talk away then. That's what you're the featured guy whenever you're there.
That's your role. That's your role.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna take it off for a minute. What's up there, Coop?
Man, SEC shorts. You catch the SEC shorts?
I have
heard
not
somebody talking about it in there. I've seen somebody just talking about it.
Pretty funny, you know. Obviously, just everything. I guess the two big pieces are a nice little delusional shot at Texas. Showing up to the top 10 meeting, Texas bringing pizza to the pizza party, and then their commentary of I'm tired of carrying this conference. So there's that. And then there was a rumble, which was the entire college football world all coming together for one purpose, and AKA Vanderbilt taking it down to Bama. But yeah, guys, it's time. It's the week. My whole brain is lined up around travel. So that's just that's where I'm at right now, is just sit here and thinking like, man, I remember at this point last year, you had recovery for the no quarterback situation from the previous year. And, again, hearing all this confidence, all the confidence coming from down south. And then the same result as usual, another Oklahoma win. So yeah, it's rare. Texas, it's rare for you to do anything when expectations come around. I posted it this morning. I just dealing with the facts, not your brand, not your hopium and anything like that. And so, man, I'm excited. I'm excited because, listen, Mike, I think that we should probably get closer to the over and under for our personal fouls this week. This is one of those games to where if you get a chance to send out Junior to go send a message, I say you do it. An actual play, not some shenanigans like you were seeing from temper tantrums from Bama players. But
the Wake Forest. Are you talking about like the Wake Forest on that, like that kind of just send them in there?
There was so many. Oh, I just realized that I take my hat off, and there we go. We need more Boomer Sooner. Jason, your camera is got some magnificent zoom on me here. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to go in my pantry to not see up my nose. But
Sorry.
but no, man. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is, and this is what's really, really funny. Texas, you got no excuse, right? You're the number one team in the country, right?
Mhm.
You got no excuse, Texas fans. None. So there are zero reasons why you should lose this game. All the pressure's on you. All the pressure's on you. Because we've got injuries everywhere on the offensive side of the ball. Our defense has been on the field quite a bit. And man, I'm really, really excited for really excited for the bye week because I think these guys needed a little bit of rest. If you guys have already, I just got about 15, 20 minutes into the Oklahoma breakdown, and they had Danny on, and but man, it sounded great just because he was sharing stories about competitive depth. So everybody, I'm not going to be hopping in any beer at what are we at 10 o'clock in the morning, but
Yeah, not yet, but competitive depth.
but the big thing was
Shout out
he
to
was
Buck.
talking about Kip and Kobe coming in and doing drills like a few years ago, and neither of these guys being able to complete a single drill at the linebacker spot. And then it's kind of a funny story, but he says at one point during the Auburn game, it was a crucial point in the game. Danny's over on the sideline, and they were asking him, how does that affect you? Like, does that bother you that you're on the sideline during big times in the game? And he's like, yeah, it kind of does. And he goes, actually, at one point in the game, I look over and Billy Bowman's standing on the sideline with me. And I think it was one of the plays where Mike went in.
Yeah, man.
And so he just looked over and he's like, what the hell are you doing here? And then Teddy was like, oh, I was losing my mind on the sideline because he was like, why are our two best players not on? So pretty funny.
Teddy said that on the broadcast.
Yeah. He was like, why are our two best players, not out there on the field? So pretty funny. Yeah, it's just a big thing for this team. You've got so many different guys available to do so many different things on the defensive side of the ball. Now you've got 3 weeks of Hawk taking, first team snaps and working and creating some chemistry. You got the offensive line now hanging out and doing their stuff healthy. And, you've got your full complement of offensive linemen. So Texas fans, this is all on you. There's no reason you should lose this game, right? If you're the number one team, you got that quality win over Michigan, and they have looked phenomenal since you beat the. Wait a second. No, Washington, the unranked Washington came in there and pushed you guys around.
And it's
so
10-point win to Arkansas State.
Yeah. So, listen, if I was Texas, I'd be nervous because I love it. You're one hit away, one dumb decision away from. Should Arch get back out there? Should Arch get back there? And then I mean, again, yeah, put them both out there. Even with Quinn and his fallopian tube injury, just put them back out there, get them out there. Let's see what happens. But man, this is listen. There are gonna be a lot of people. They do not want. They did score that game, that drive, Chicken. You're 100% correct. But there's this fun thing that I like looking at right now. Is
I had to throw
going
that.
To be
Fallopian tube injury.
It's going to be this is when you get these Texas fans start realizing, oh shit, this defense is actually really, really good, and now they're going to be well rested.
They gotta realize.
So if I'm Brent Venables and I win the toss, I mean, number one, I'm deferring, but I want to be out there on defense this year, and I just want to go. I want to go at it hard, go at it fast, and let's let everybody go, because you're not going to want to you're not going to want to get Quinn hit hard, right? You're going to want to try to get him back into the rhythm. And so this is going to be a deal are you going to be able to throw these little quick slants out to the outside? Last year, they ran it a few times, and then they tried to run a slant with Worthy, and that turned into something bad, right? Turned into something bad. So, yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's go. It's go time.
Camille Shieb. Camille. We're gonna call her Camille. I mean, sorry. I don't know if it's a guy or not. Does Texas have a week off as well? They do. But and that probably got Quinn healthy, I guess. Apparently. Did it though? I don't know. I almost hope that Quinn plays, to be honest with you. I myself feel like OU has his number. He feels like OU has his number. And how long is the leash? And I think Mike just asked that.
Does Quinn pull an Ollie Gordon?
How many licks does it take to get how many INTs will it take to get to Arch?
Does Quinn pull an Ollie Gordon, Jason? Does he once it starts not looking as easy? Some players some players fake the injury to slow the teams down on offense. Ollie Gordon fakes the injuries to not have to participate in the game or the ass whooping anymore. So
there's gonna be plenty to talk about on that in a few minutes too, buddy. If OU wins, they move up in the polls more than one spot.
Probably not. Let's just move them up to 17. A tie for 13th place.
After beating the number one team. Yeah, they shouldn't.
I'll take 14. Just get us inside 14.
Yeah. And yours is going to be running for dear life. I agree. Look, I would just tell you this. Guys, I've never felt this good. Probably. I mean, listen, I know Texas is supposed to be good. I've watched every down they've played, and I haven't seen anything that makes me go, oh my God, they're the number one team in the country. I don't see it. I don't see it. They're the de facto number one because everybody talked about them being number one, but I don't know how you can lose as many guys as they did. And look, I mean, they kind of did the same with Michigan was in the top 10 until last week, even with their loss. Because they beat USC, who, oh, shocker, they're not as good as everybody thought they were.
Jason, they're close, bud.
I know. I think he was talking about his pecker size, but
but I knew it was coming. I knew it.
I'm just like, Texas ain't used to being good. They're in unfamiliar territory. Other than last year, they've been average since Mac was there, and that's a fact. And the truth is even last year. When after the Alabama game, they did not look good for most of the time. They looked good against Okie Light in the conference championship game, which they got gifted. But they didn't play well against Oklahoma. Bunch of turnovers, lost the game. Same thing with, how do you not beat that Washington team with that team that you had? And they didn't. 2 years in a row, you get beat by Kalen DeBoer's Washington team.
And Washington tried to give that game away. Tried to. It was not pretty.
They did. That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point, is that we're talking about a situation where these guys, well, I wouldn't know that. We're talking about a situation where these guys literally, they haven't been in this situation to have to win. And when they get in these situations, they haven't been good. I think that you're in this right now. You look at Texas, they are completely untested whatsoever. Now they're going to get into a game where you're going to get punched in the mouth right away. Then what are you going to do? Because I guarantee you, they're going to take the ball first, and if they don't take the ball first because Oklahoma will have deferred it, so they'll get the ball first. They'll take the ball. They will if they were to win the toss. If they don't, OU's going to give it to them. They're going to go out there and punch them in the face and see what they got. You're not going to go down. You're not going to score like you would have been able to. Even if Quinn plays, he's going to be rusty. And they're going to be having him running for his life. I love this shit.
Hey, And it's so. And I'll tell you this, Benji. If you claiming that you have a ranked win is about the same thing as Penn State claiming that they're going to get a quality win after they go to USC and play this week.
Oh Lord.
It's not really. I mean, yes, there is a number next to the team when you won the game.
The polls don't mean shit until about now anyway, man.
I don't even think they mean. I mean, let's be honest. The polls mean stuff when you've got like an actual decent body of work, not 2 conference games. Right. And I mean, you need to have. I mean, you need to have a sample of 5 to 6 because. And I'll say this is. You've got a lot, Jason. We talked about this, Mike. You and I talked about this. There are so many new things with so many teams. New coaching staff at Alabama. That's a new grind for DeBoer. It's. I mean, listen.
Well, and being able to deal with success too. That's the other thing. I mean, not everybody's going to deal with the success the same way, and they don't do things the same way that Nick Saban. You know that he would not have allowed the rat poison to creep in. Period.
Oh no.
Period. But and listen, not to take away anything from Diego though, and what Vandy did. They played amazing football. Are they going to win that thing 99 times out of 100? No, but they did the other night. You know.
Hey, what did Dr. Strange say?
Of a crap game go.
Dr. Strange in Endgame. Just one. Just this is the one. So they made it happen. And you know, I was telling Jay last night, it was pretty funny because usually when stuff like this happens, and you guys probably feel the same way, it's like when you're watching a game and you're like, oh, I'd really like to see Vandy pull this off. Like you're like, man, but if I start watching this game, Alabama's gonna come storming back. Like I turned the game on and I was just waiting for them to come storm back. It never happened. Just never came about. So it was I sat there. We were in Oklahoma City for a soccer game. And you know what's funny is now Vandy goes to Kentucky. So they're probably I mean, it's going to be very Vandy if they go up to Kentucky and get it handed to them this week.
You know, I wasn't going to say I was shocked that Vandy beat Alabama, but I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't see something like this coming because Vandy's played some good football this year.
On offense too, yeah.
And just, you know, shit, they should have beat Missouri, you know. They gifted them that one. But I mean, yeah, it's not like I didn't see it coming, man. Like Vandy's good. I tweeted out like I love me a Tim Beck run offense.
Oh, bro,
I love that offense. I loved it when he was at New Mexico State, and I love it at Vandy, man. I just love the motion. You always got the jet sweep. You got all kinds of like zone reads, and it's just it's good, man. And he seems to call the plays at the right time, and just I
like Tim Beck, man, a lot.
Counter, man, it's just so good. So good.
I'm a fan. I'm also a fan of Tim Beck. I think the guy is probably the best offensive coordinator in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really good.
Wagons.
He's really good.
Let's be honest. Like there's a lot. I mean, a lot of guys look good. I mean, the Alabama up to this point, man, and I always
I'm not counting Alabama out. They are nasty on offense too. I think they can figure it out defensively.
Ryan Williams
the other day.
Ryan Williams makes me nervous. Like
he's 17. Did you know that?
Nervous, dude. He makes me nervous. That's
not. I don't
get nervous too much, man.
In Alabama history for high school Alabama history
makes me nervous, dude. There's nobody can cover the kid. Nobody. I don't care.
No. Those Georgia defensive backs look drunk. Like look drunk covering him.
He's out there just floating. He's out there just floating, dude. It's true. I don't even know what to say, man. Like he's scared the shit out of me.
He's scared.
So he's got? So he's the leading receiver, 19 catches, 544. He's got an 84-yard touchdown. He's got a 60 some odd, 6 touchdowns. I mean, he's accounted for over half of the passing touchdowns or receiving touchdowns. That is, Yeah, and he's, I think, what is he, 6'3"?
Mm-hmm.
No, he's only 6 foot tall. Shit. Oh, I thought he was a lot bigger than that.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
not. He's not. No. He's. I was fixing to say he's not a huge kid, but he's. But
He's no
a-
Cam
but I mean,
Jordan.
that double spin move shit was crazy.
Yeah.
That double spin move shit was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
Yeah,
love
and-
seeing this here. Yeah, SEC Fears Oklahoma shirt. I love it that you got that. I'm gonna pop that stuff up on the screen. Right now is a great time to get in there for this game. Nobody has as much anti-Texas shit in their merch store than me. Nobody, guaranteed. Get in there and check it out. hofmedia.us/pod-merch. You got to get in there and look at that stuff. It's awesome. Jump in there. We've got a bunch of horns down stuff. We've got Texas Fears Oklahoma, coined by Danny. Now it's used by everybody. And this is the facts. All this bluster, all this bullshit. This is the main reason that I love that Oklahoma is going into this game facing a number one. They're facing a number one. Everybody is talking shit. And there's nothing better than being disrespected before you go into a game against a team like this. This is going to be 3 weeks in a row the number one team goes down. And they're going down. There's no two ways around it. Y'all getting beat again. You're getting beat again. Believe it. All right, guys. 125 people in here right now. We've had 550 people in here so far. 45 likes. Still under 10%, folks. Come on now. Come on now. We got to get those likes up. Get those likes up, folks. Come on now. All right. Let's talk about a few other things. There's plenty to talk about with Hate Week. We'll get back to hating, but we can hate on some other people. Unfair Sports on here. Yeah, listen, man, this is going to be, it's going to be all OU all week, other than when the coach is on with us tomorrow night. Of course, he definitely has no love for Texas. So we're good to go on that as well. Throw them horns
Hey,
down.
Jason.
Yeah.
Jason, did I here, I got a trick for you. Did you see what I pulled out of the hat?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm back.
I got some in my
Let's
pocket.
go.
Oh, right there. There it is.
There we go.
Fuck Texas. Just fuck Texas. That's how it is.
So what's funny is you don't have to throw a lot of shade and hate through a lot of the teams that we love to not love. How about a Missouri? Do you want to have a conversation about Missouri, Jason?
Yeah,
Because-
Mizzou. Because we've been talking about this team for a year now. They've been talking a lot of shit.
Whole bunch.
It never stops. And guys, I'll just ask you guys, what the fuck? The game was over after the first quarter. It wasn't close. What did you think about that one? Big Mike, what did you think about that game?
I want to thank Missouri. All right. Because they made me a winner in my draft games. So appreciate you, Missouri.
Yeah.
In the words of Coach Green, we are who we thought they were. Right? We are who we thought they were. And
they are who you thought they were.
Listen, I saw a bunch of kids give up. I saw a bunch of players pouting on the sideline and never got their heads back into the game, and on the Mizzou side. And that's not a good sign. You got a touchdown call back, suck it up, get back in the huddle, be laying over on the bench, put your head back, whining and crying in the shade. Your team's getting the shit kicked out of them. Get back in there. Texas A&M looked good. And I'm not going to take anything away from Texas A&M. They were getting after their butts. Their O-line and D-line. Hey man, if that's the Texas A&M we get every week, watch out, because they're going to be a lot of teams and they're going to be contending. and they made Mizzou look like Mizzou for sure. And Missouri, and let's talk about the field goal. Like I can't end my little speech here without talking about the concession field goal at the end of the game. Like if that wasn't the biggest like chicken shit I give up, like wave the white flag move by a head coach I've ever seen in my life, somebody show me something else. Somebody show me something else, because Drinkowitz, bro, you just like, we now know that you hopping up on your coach and wrapping your legs around him when you got a Williams Nwaneri commit, like that wasn't a fluke. Like that wasn't a fluke. You're
baby
soft.
shit, man.
Soft as Sean, bro.
That's what Tarleton State does when they play a Georgia at the end. It's we got to double digits. Like that's like we scored double digits on Georgia. That's not what a D1 top 10 team does to another team that you're supposed to be better than.
That Caden Green was taking some serious heat this weekend. He was trending all week on Twitter.
He should have been. Did you see the bullshit? He was faking that he didn't know what to do on that and just let that guy go kill his quarterback. I would have ate his ass alive too. And guess what, Mizzou? You paid him like a freaking starting left tackle, and he's a shitty guard.
Regression.
Oops.
100%. And here's what I'm saying is, for you Missouri fans, all this shit talking that you've been doing, like it's literally the same thing as if I were to walk past a car and see McDonald's wrapper sitting in the front seat and think, oh damn, that's the dude who founded McDonald's. That's how Mizzou people have acted. They literally have acted like they invented winning. And because they did something notable finally last year. Barry Sanders, act like you've been there. Act like you've been there.
Act like you've been there. They're having a hard time. They're having a hard time handling winning, right?
And they caught breaks all year long. Look at the K-State game. They freaking nailed a 60-yarder at the gun. They did the same thing. Both of them home games against Florida. Same thing against Florida. They couldn't beat the worst defense that LSU's probably ever had until maybe this year. They couldn't beat them. They got beat by Georgia. And dude, come on. Every third stringer at Ohio State played in that Cotton Bowl. They didn't give two shits about that game. And they were losing 3-0 going into the fourth quarter.
And these guys, when you play in some of these bowl games, like the Consolation Bowl, whatever, to where when Oklahoma and Trevor Knight beat Alabama, a lot of people want to still hold that as if like that was a massive, massive feat. Mm-hmm. Alabama is still Alabama, yes, and that was a win over that team, but that did not mean that Oklahoma would be terrific going into the next year. And we saw we weren't. And so when you see, Urban Meyer, Utah beat Alabama in a New Year's Bowl, like that's big, because that's a lose-lose for an Alabama. So yeah, you went in, you beat Ohio State in a game that they didn't give a damn about. It doesn't make you something big, but hey, we all saw it. Not only did you
we've been saying this for a year that they are gonna, and even though they have another crap ass schedule in comparison to a lot of SEC teams like Oklahoma, and Oklahoma has to go to Mizzou, damn good and well, all you got to do is pop them in the mouth, hit Luther Burden and see what he does, because he bitched out too.
Yeah,
and guess what? Listen, I love Theo Weiss. He's a OU grad. I give Theo love, but he ain't that dude, bro. He ain't that dude. He can't be that dude. He's never been that dude. And you bailed out. And I mean, what did Luther go to? Tell me about the blanket story. What a fucking great story. Dude, the guy sent a blanket to the hotel and then kicked his ass.
I don't think so. Here's what
was that drink doing that, trying to stir it up?
100%.
Oh,
How would they know what room the cornerback staying
this
in?
College Station, bro.
No, they don't. They don't handle that. They don't put names on rooms. They just blank rooms off for football players, and the coaching staff and the sports staff, they assign rooms. There's no, I mean, unless there's a mole, unless Texas A&M's got a mole. And let's talk about my man's sister that is on the recruiting staff at Missouri. They didn't let her come to practice all week.
Yeah.
Her brother plays for Texas A&M. I can't remember the name, but his sister.
She's on the recruiting staff for
She's
Mizzou?
on the recruiting staff at Missouri. Missouri would not let her attend practice all week because they thought she might give information to Texas A&M.
Wow, I didn't hear about that.
I heard something about it. I didn't know
what it was. I didn't know what it was. Yeah, I didn't finish watching Eichert and Lehman about that.
Yeah.
So yes, Stan didn't hear that. It was all made up. It was all made up.
What was
all made up?
The whole blanket getting sent to Theo Weiss, then him.
Weiss made that shit up.
Weiss made it up.
Missouri, just the general.
They made it up.
Listen, it don't matter. You got your ass whooped. It wasn't even like a competitive game.
It didn't work. It didn't work.
You better wear a.
Not there.
Yeah, you better wear a poncho
because they're not that. You did that was if that was on Drink doesn't have the pulse of his fucking football team. You should be fired for that shit.
Here's what it is
because they're
Jason,
soft,
I brought this
and
up.
you didn't think they were soft. You got to be shitting me. No way.
Here's their defensive line. A&M's defensive line is good. A&M's defensive line has not been in the issue for A&M over the past couple of years. They have had athletes. They have had top end athletes, but you cannot replace Schrader with Nate Noel is like 5'8", and Marcus Carroll. Hold on a second. Neither of these guys are even. Okay, so 5'10", 190. Yeah, bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And Marcus Carroll, 5'10", 210. Yeah, it like you went out there and you brought in a guy from Appy State, and you brought in another running back from Georgia State to replace those guys. And listen, these kids, you have a son on a football team. If you go tell Mike some whack story to motivate him, he's going to look it up and he's going to try to figure out what's going on. And if he finds out that it's fake, these kids aren't stupid.
I don't make shit up. I find like real shit and I send it to them. Like I don't make shit up.
And you think that I mean, shit, any coach that sees stuff like that, I mean, come on, that BV and those guys, all the shit that's been talked about Oklahoma's been all over the place. I'm sure that's how they
don't have to. All you got to do is go to the line. 14.
Listen, there's plenty of stuff.
Show the line.
It's been going on for 2 years. They've been hating on them for 2 years. I heard Josh Pate talking about that the stench of 6 and 7 hasn't worn off of Oklahoma yet. Not that shit was on BV, but that's what Josh Pate said. But that the stench of 6 and 7 hadn't worn off. And I'm like, okay. Even though, and you know what the beautiful part about that is not one time have you ever heard Brent Venables make an excuse, or we're this close. No, we're not there yet is what he'll say. That's bullshit.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that they got some little motivational videos that they show the team during the week. Like I almost guarantee it. Like there's some shit, they're taking clips of stuff that's out there,
Sure. I mean, we heard Nick on their podcast last year. They were talking about that a lot, saying, "Man, they all hating on us. They're giving no love." It was during this year,
and I think I'm looking at Missouri's schedule right here, man. I think they're losing like 4 out of their next 7.
Well, they got UMass. You got UMass coming up. So now they get to act like
They'll
bullies
get
again.
healthy on that. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
everything
They're
will
losing
look
to
like they got
Auburn.
it back.
I think they're going to lose to Auburn. They're losing to Alabama. We're going to come in there and smack them.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina, maybe, and I think Arkansas beats them.
Yeah, only Shane may be the only one that's kind of as nerdy as freaking Drink and does the stupid shit too, because it's his antics are starting to get so old, bro.
I'll say this about Auburn is Hugh Freeze is killing his own quarterback.
He is.
It started the week before they played us, and that guy was not making a single mistake, and then he started getting in his ass, basically chewing him out on the RPO reads, and
So,
that
I disagree. That was supposed to be he faked it to the running back, and he was supposed to run inside the running back. Right?
Yeah.
He was
I agree with that.
outside, and
I agree with that.
He messed that up, and Hugh Freeze got in his ass. But like Freeze has to realize that this may not be the most effective coaching method for your quarterback, bro, because it hasn't worked out well in 3 games for you.
Yeah.
You got to find another way, bro. You're getting paid a lot of money, like getting off in somebody's ass. When you do that, you have to make sure that player can handle it. Not everybody can handle it. You know what I mean? It's like me out there with my youngest son's team. Like, they mess up, like I don't start cussing them and yelling at them. They're gonna shut down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have to figure something out and how to get through to that player, because like as soon as you start cussing and yelling, a lot of these kids just like boop, shut you off. And,
Well, you got to have some balance to it. But I will say this is with what Peyton Thorne and his just mannerisms, that guy just seems like a douche. I mean, I'm not going to always say this about players because they are still kids. But I mean, the moment that you start making some of the money that these guys are making, you got to take it. But that guy, he just seems like a guy that's hard to like. Maybe even for his teammates. So, but yeah, if they don't find a way to point out some of the good and celebrate some of the good to go with the ass chewing, and then that's where you got to have some balance, because Peyton Thorne is one of those guys that once it starts sliding, he has all this history this year of that stuff starting to slide backwards, and it gets worse, and it snowballs and it snowballs and it snowballs, and now he's second guessing every single thing that he's doing.
Yeah. And man, Peyton Thorne throws a nice ball. Like he's got some talent. Like, and you got to harvest that. Like,
there was some bad play calling in that too. I think that Hugh Freeze got out coached in those moments.
Well,
they saw something in there that
give that kid the ball.
Give Hunter the ball 30 times a game.
Free Jarquez Hunter, bro. Like, good night.
Good Lord, yeah. Can you imagine? You got a guy like that, and you're getting chunk play after chunk play after chunk play, and you don't just keep feeding it to him. Hello, Lincoln.
And I think he still averaged against Georgia this week. I still think he averaged over 6 yards a carry. I'm going to take a look at it. I mean, he was. Hold on a second. Bear with me here. Good podcast time right now. 7 yards a carry. 13 carries for 91 yards. Like that's some like we're up by 45 and he's not going to get the ball anymore type of like production. But
people
I mean,
get too enamored with their own offense, man, and they want to throw the ball. They want to look good. And dude, football is simple, man. Run the ball. Right. Watch what happens to your passing game.
No doubt.
But I think that at one point I looked when the game was still close. I want to say it was 10-3 in the second quarter, and he was averaging 6 yards a carry, and I think he had maybe 8 or 9 carries. And so you just gotta free that guy, because he is. I mean, hell, I'd take him and throw him in on this team. And I'm pretty sure that, he is the leading returning rusher in the SEC too. So it's not like this is something new. I mean, he's the leading returning rusher in the SEC.
Well, it really is a lot like what you saw with the kid at USC last year. The guy averaged 8.5 yards a carry and didn't get the fucking ball all year. He was the #1 rated running back in PFF and wasn't getting the ball but 10 times a game. It's the same stuff. And what happened? They went 7-5 because they had Caleb playing hero ball all year. All year.
They wonder why kids get in the transfer portal.
And talking about teams that are underachieving, you could go there next. I mean, let's talk about USC right now. What the hell? We keep hearing about, oh, they're so much better on defense. Now watch, Lincoln Riley is about to blow everybody up. And all we're hearing about why they lost the game is that they missed that call on the goal line. They overturned a call. There's no way you could see, blah, blah, blah. Why in the fuck is Minnesota in the game with you? I don't give a fuck where we were playing at. It's not even cold up there yet. No excuses. Why is Minnesota in that game with you? They're trash.
I mean, there were a lot of people saying, like, did PJ Fleck? I mean, there were a lot of people talking about did PJ Fleck, and for some reason they're still throwing what's his name up there at Iowa State too in this conversation. Like, did they miss their opportunity to take a better job? I mean, Iowa State's a top 10 team, so I think he's safe on that one. But yeah, they don't belong in that game. Like, that's not one of those games that. Benji, I think you said ass, and I think that's why it jumped on you, brother. I didn't.
I don't know what's up with that stupid bot. I could care less what y'all say in there, by the way. Other than we're gonna kick out Texas fans just for being Texas fans. That's what we do. It has nothing to do with cuss words. I promise.
But no, man. I was saying that I thought that USC could be a better offensive team all the way around because of not having Caleb Williams there and having a more complementary football team on offense. And it's just, but now everybody is starting to kind of, really jump on this bandwagon. Is Lincoln Riley,
he's gone, bro.
Dude, Matt Leiner's tweet was very, very simple. He says, "It feels like we're stuck in neutral." So, I mean, when if Baker Mayfield said something like that about us, that would be one of the most damning things for the fan base to hear. And so you would have, you got to do something different. Whatever you're doing, it just is not working.
Right. I turned off that bot, fellas. Y'all can cuss. I don't care about that shit. I don't care about that
if we're out here cussing, like, we're not going to get over you guys about cussing. Come on. I mean, I let these two do most of the cussing because it makes me feel better. It makes me feel like it puts me on my moral high horse. So I appreciate you.
What the fuck does that mean?
Listen, my mom be listening to this stuff, man, and she's always getting me on.
My mom gets on my ass a lot. She's always like, "Why are you cussing all the time? Why?"
Yeah.
My pastor won't let me do podcasts at church because of these things.
Yeah.
Matt Leinert's not Matt. You're not wrong about Matt Leinart. He is a moron, but still, like, it's just the concept of, like, now even the bigger proponents for Lincoln Riley are starting to be like, the message boards are all like, man, Oklahoma fans, they were telling us all this stuff, and we knew the play. We knew what this was going to do. So it's going to be a fun go, because now Penn State comes to town, and then they got to turn around and go to Maryland all the way across the damn country in 2 weeks. And I mean, it's just going to get started because Maryland's got a football team that can put up some offense too.
No doubt. Well, they probably lose this week. That's what I'm saying is all the shit that and look, it's funny because I started getting a bunch more views on that video when I called him a fraud last year at about this time. It's about this time when they started hitting the skids last year. Had that 2-game losing streak, and they almost lost to Colorado. Should have lost to Colorado last year too, right? What's up there, legend? And yeah, he sits up there. Lincoln Riley looks like a lawyer, not a football coach. Lincoln lawyer. I love it. Nice. Well done, Eric. Well done. Well done. It was crazy though, because here's the thing is I started getting a bunch of views on it and a bunch of people talking. And a lot of USC fans talk shit, and they talk shit on that video a lot. There's like 25,000 views on it though. And that's from a year ago. That's not that big a deal. But now, like the last 4 or 5 days, or well, since the other night for sure, I think I've gotten another 3,000 views on it, and it's talking about how he's a fraud and how all the bullshit that went on. And the truth is, we've seen this movie. Get in a rock fight with him, he beats you. Or you get beat. You get beat. He's going to get beat. If you put him in a rock fight, he's going to lose. And this is what we saw as Oklahoma fans, especially in the playoff, when you run into a team that's going to run the ball first and play good defense. You know, they're going to make you stop the run. You got your ass kicked. Ass kicked. This is not, Minnesota is not a good team. PJ Fleck, what are you shitting me? The guy's weird. Weird. I've heard stuff about the guy, like he wants applause when he comes into the locker room, into these meeting rooms. And if it isn't ample, he walks out and comes back in. That's the guy that you're getting beat by? Are you shitting me? And it wasn't cold, but this is the thing that we've seen over and over and over again, that even now, and why is it that all of a sudden these guys are leaving your football team? Because they're not starters on defense. When you need, everybody knows you need depth in these leagues. Everybody knows you need depth on that side of the ball. Bear's gone. You had 2 linebackers leave last week. Bear, they're fucked. He's got to be on his way out the door. He's got to be on his way out the door. I think that's why they hired Matt Ince anyway. I do.
I don't know where he's going.
About Coach Carroll? Is he worried about Coach Carroll?
No, I don't. Coach Carroll's like 80 something now, isn't he?
I don't think he's worried about Pete. I think that Jen Cohen hired Matt Ince for a reason. It wouldn't have been Lincoln there if Jen Cohen had been the AD at that time. She wouldn't have hired Lincoln. She would have hired Kalen DeBoer. They've got to be kicking themselves over that shit.
Mm-hmm.
They got to be kicking themselves over that shit. I'm so happy that they did, though. Thank God Lincoln's not here. And he didn't want to be in the Big Ten either, guaranteed.
No. He did not. What he did was he took a conference that looked like it was pretty open, because I promise you, as soon as Dan Lanning got hired at Oregon, that was the first part where he was like, well, crap.
Yeah.
And he thought that conference, I mean, again, Lincoln Riley does not concern himself with much as a football coach. He doesn't. It is focusing in on me being the smartest person in the room. And he needs to take some humility. And I thought that he had done that this year, because when we saw that LSU game, it looks like they made some changes that were positive. But then I also said, but what do we know about that game? Because if they're both mediocre, like, do you learn anything?
Like
and
Michigan.
So that's why you need a decent set, a decent sample to really understand what something is. And so, man, I just think he's the dude that we need to be talking about. Is, did he miss his opportunity? Because I said he was going to be off to the NFL, but after you throw out the 8-5, nobody wanted that. Nobody wanted to bring that chaos, because you just saw the Kingsbury option. And when Kingsbury couldn't get it done in the NFL, nobody was going to turn around and be like, let's give it. But and I say that, but Kingsbury didn't even, I mean, his biggest claim to fame might be that he was Patrick Mahomes' head coach at one point and didn't win anything with Pat Mahomes. So, I mean, you at least, Lincoln at least has had Heisman winning quarterbacks.
When he went to Arizona, man, everybody was like, what the hell? Like, how do you jump from what he did at Texas Tech to go to Arizona? And no, everybody's like, what?
No, they fired. He failed up, literally failed up. The guy never won more than 7 games at Tech. Most of the time he won 5, and he becomes the head coach because he had a cup of coffee with Sean McVay. The fuck? It was like, what? But I mean, as a Niner fan, I was like, yeah, great. I'm glad. Thank God it's him. He's there. You know, that's 2 wins a year for San Francisco. So, you know, that's the thing about, and I can't believe that they've got him in Washington and wondering what the fuck's going on. Why are they bad? Well, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. They're not going to be good.
Listen, Jaden Daniels is being Jaden Daniels, you know, regardless of his OC, and that guy gives you an option.
Well, that's the one thing. Yeah, but they'll win early and do what late? Gag. Because that's the one thing is I like the head coach there somewhat, but he's never been able to like run the full show there. You know what I mean? He did the same thing in Atlanta where they were really good offensively, but he's a defensive coach and they didn't do shit on defense.
They are 4-1, and it's going to be fool's gold. The Commanders.
They haven't played the best parts of their division yet, even. So, and I like Jaden Daniels. Don't get me wrong. Again, this is the kind of quarterback that he's an equalizer kind of guy. Look at, Jalen. I've never thought that Jalen was that great. Jalen Hurts, I like him as an athlete. I think he's a stud. I'm the same way about when it comes to our boy in Baltimore. I'm not a fan. He can't hit the broadside of a barn. He can't. He can run. He can do all that stuff. And if you're wide ass open, Mark Andrews should be an all-pro every year, but he doesn't get enough footballs because they can't hit him, his big ass. You know what I mean? Think about it. Lamar is a stud athlete. But that's kind of what I think about Jaden. It's nowadays you run into these guys and you can do some things with them. You're going to win some games, but when you get in the playoffs, what's going to happen then? You're going to get beat. You're going to get beat. If you can't hit the throws that you have to get, the layered throws, Benji, those kind of throws that are 15 yards up to 25 yards that have to be right on the money. You can't hit those throws, you ain't shit. Yeah, it's got to be perfect. What's up there, Coach Rick?
Consistently.
Yeah, consistently. Not hitting a throw. Yes, yeah. There's every single guy that goes to the NFL can make throws. They all can make throws. I mean, it's the consistency. It's right. Being able to do it, being able to understand the difference between taking a shot and living to fight another down. And not putting your team in a bad spot, but then also, I mean, there's been times where I've seen guys, sprinting out of the backfield and wide open, and they either get the ball too late and get obliterated, or the ball hits 3 yards behind them into the ground. You have Zay Flowers, who is a conundrum for fantasy owners because the guy's literally got the talent and capability to probably have you one of them is a guy who could probably go for 200 yards receiving. But yeah, anyway, let's get back, because
I got one more real quick though. We can't talk shit about football teams and not talk shit about Okie Light. What the hell is going on up there with your boys that everybody was picking to win the Big 12 except for me?
It is whatever they found on offense with the offensive line last year has disappeared. Just absolutely disappeared. And they're
defensively
fans
with their Division III defensive coordinator that everybody was so high.
Everybody is turning on. Everybody is turning on the pulling Bartlesville High School's JV coach as your new defensive coordinator. Like everybody's turning on this, and now people are turning on.
They're trying to
even Ollie Gordon.
They should be turning on Ollie Gordon. He's mailing the shit in.
Bro, Ollie Gordon, if your team is not doing well, Ollie Gordon's got a hamstring injury coming up. It is pending. There's always an injury pending if they start getting behind.
And when we were getting recruited by Oklahoma State, and after that year, they after his junior year, before his senior year, they hired that defensive coordinator,
Brian Nardo.
Yeah, and they tried to sell it to us, and I just wasn't like, I was like, I don't know, man. I don't see it, but they got a kid as a quarterback. His name is Zane Flores.
Dude, I know that.
Where is he at? I watched that kid a lot. He played with my little cousin up in Nebraska.
Mm-hmm. He's big. He's got a big ass arm.
Yeah. Where's he at? What are we doing?
I know it. They haven't even gone to the next guy down. I mean, what the hell are they doing? And they're making excuses for it. Like, I don't get where everybody. How do you not see that the guy? He's not even pulling off mediocre anymore. Mediocre Mike is not even pulling off mediocre anymore. He's not. And without Oklahoma,
Coach Rick's the QR codes making them play bad.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of like that idea. I didn't think that was too bad of an idea. That was
not a
innovative.
terrible idea. Not a he was. I mean,
No.
he was taking a page out of the Deion Sanders playbook on that one. But at least he was just trying to do it in practice. But
Yeah,
the thing is that he bitched and complained about it forever, and then turns around. But the thing is, it's all smoke and mirrors with Okie Light. Aside of conference games, outside of the conference, they haven't beaten a winning conference team but 3 fucking times in his career.
I don't know what. I
With
don't,
Notre Dame, 4 times with Notre Dame, and we're talking 8-5, 8-5, 7-5, 7-5. Some teams like that is what they were beating. It's always been smoke and mirrors. They don't recruit for shit. It's always bullshit about that. I heard people making excuses, or saw people making excuses on Twitter the other day. Well, do they give him enough money? This was from Sam. And look, I give lots of love to Sam for what and he's getting killed for it, by the way. But watch, I just want to pull this tweet up real quick.
Yeah, you got Zane Flores, 6'4", 205 as a freshman out of Nebraska.
Stud.
Rangel's been there.
Not even getting to play. I mean, if you're wanting to go with somebody who's got experience, why are you not playing Rangel? Hell, Gundy's kid is playing somewhere else, and
Emporia State
and killing it. It's unbelievable.
I want to know who was in the room when they decided to bring back Bowman, and I don't know what his NIL is, but it's too much. I'm gonna say that right now.
If
it's
it's
too much.
It's too much, bro.
It's I like who made that decision, and you know,
he's been shitty since he was at Tech.
Dude, that dude's throwing mechanics are terrible. And I'm no quarterback guy. I'm no quarterback guru.
Agreed.
But good night. Like, I can't even watch it, dude. It's so bad. It's just I don't see how you can play that guy. It blows my mind. If he plays again next week as a starter, listen, man, I don't know what to say. Like, the dude's pure trash. And I don't like to call people trash, but good night. I've watched him 2 weeks now, and watched him at K-State. It was unbelievably bad.
It's not like you think. It's not like, you know, you can say, well, he's a young player and he's got some chance.
No.
The dude, was he 20, like 25?
Like his 19th year of school.
I mean, literally, like he backed up Mike Gundy when Mike Gundy was Oklahoma State.
I was just to say he was the backup for Gundy, wasn't he? Back in the day.
But no, I mean, here's the thing. You know, what's funny is Oklahoma State's not even the most disappointing team in the Big 12. You know who the most disappointing team in the Big 12 is? Is Kansas. Kansas is 1-5.
Yeah, pretty bad. Pretty bad.
That was a lot of folks pick for the Big 12. You know, Big 12.
I have competing for sure. For sure.
That's rough. But you know, again, Jason, you know, when 2 years ago, everybody was gleaning over what is this conference going to look like, and my exact words is like, this, nobody gives a shit. It's just going to be the bless your heart conference. Like, it's essentially the same thing as the AAC. You know, just there's not a, you know, when you say like Utah and BYU are your like kind of like bell cow brands in a conference, I mean, that's just not a position of power. And you know that they've got to be hoping that this new system comes into place, because it's nobody cares. I mean, yeah, you got storylines, but there's nobody coming out of that thing that's going to win anything big at any point.
Oh, hell no.
They may get one.
I think there's a lot of really good football coaches in that league. A lot of really good football coaches in that league. I like Iowa State. I think they're really good. What the hell's going on?
Sound like that guy said, somebody said Zane Flores hurt his foot and needed surgery. Heard it on a talk sports radio show.
Well, listen,
That sucks.
Bowman,
maybe
he
why
ain't
we don't
hit
see
it.
him.
He ain't it. 114 yards.
Not it at all. Not it at all. Not it, man. He's
the standings. You got Texas Tech is top in the standings in the Big 12 right now.
Oops.
BYU and
3-0,
Iowa State.
right?
Yeah. Then you got Baylor, Kansas, Okie State all down at 0-3. Nobody really knows what Kansas State is.
The brand has finally returned.
No,
Your brand.
I was doing that for Legend. I don't know why I asked for it, but I don't mind doing it ever. No, I'm telling you though, guys, I don't understand what they're doing. And that's what I looked at. You even saw with, watch, I have it up here, I believe. Oh, I thought I did.
Ooh, I like that. I like the quote by Herbert. Jackson Arnold might be a good move for Oklahoma State. I don't think that there's any connection there. Oh yeah.
Did you see this from Sam May?
Yeah, I saw this. Saw that from Sam. Sam, and nobody likes Sam at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, well, who cares? This dude knows what he's talking about, and talking about going on to Sirius Radio. He went on a rant calling the hire a joke, prompted the station to report it to OSU. And over the next couple of days, the joke leadership at Sellout Crowd, which we know that's facts, that they were damn sure a joke, had Trammell put out a puff piece about the hire to smooth things over because the brass in Stillwater was furious. We need to stop celebrating hiring unqualified people to coach at this level.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? Somebody literally on this post, which is the crazy thing about that, is somebody literally on that post had the nerve to say, do they give him enough money to pay for good coaches? Are you shitting me? Like,
isn't Gundy making $7 million? Like,
he's making
at what
$8
point?
million. When he lost the DC, remember what's his name? It's at Ohio State now. Why? Knowles, Jim Knowles.
Jim Knowles.
They didn't have to lose him. He was going to stay, and instead of giving him a raise, he gave himself a raise, so he left.
And listen, I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. Jim Knowles had 1 year where they had a competent defense because they had seniors and juniors across the board, and they still were not great. They were still not great.
They were chasing Caleb's ass, but I think I know why that was in that game. In any event, they put up a defense that put them in a position to win the conference that year. He goes, lets him leave. They hire the guy from Auburn. He stays for 1 year and realizes it's a shit show and he wants out. Decided to retire. You know, it's a joke around there. And they literally, what do you have to do to get fired at Okie Light is what I got to know. The dude was freaking 4-15 against Oklahoma. 4-15. What do you have to do to get fired? Well, you know, apparently it doesn't matter that you drink and drive 1,000 times and don't care. You know, that whole thing was a joke too. All this shit, the stuff with, you go back to the Chuba Hubbard thing. All of it has been a bad look on them year after year after year after year, and they're not winning. And now Oklahoma and Texas are out of it. What fucking excuse do you get to have now? Because they just cashed another $200 million Boone Pickens check last year. They got money.
Oh, yeah.
Don't tell us they can't afford these kids.
They got nice facilities, dude.
Their facilities are better than anybody else's.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It's what it is finding and being okay with the lot that you have. What they banked on was the defense being minutely better, that offensive line letting Ollie Gordon run all over the place, and Bowman not being needed a lot. And so
true.
I mean, they're gonna continue. But here's the thing: is Gundy keeps on getting these raises, and for the longest time, it was I was going to bounce to Tennessee. I'm going to bounce for Tennessee. I'm going to bounce to Tennessee. Well, now that's not a situation that he can take advantage of anymore. And so now
if he was going to bounce to Tennessee, he would have done it. He knew that he wouldn't last at Tennessee. because it was all smoke and mirrors. You know it, and I know it. Just like the whole "I'm a man, I'm 40" stuff that he did to Jenny Carlson. That was a bunch of bullshit too. She was writing that about them, not that kid. Go back to that story and look at it, folks. Go back and look at it. She was talking shit about their play calling, not about that kid playing bad.
He spun it, huh?
Hell yes, he spun it because he's a bitch. He's always been that way. Always. And we're talking about that was what, his second year, maybe? Something like that.
Yeah.
Gundy?
I don't know.
No, he had been there for a few years at that point. But I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's 10 years ago, I think.
Chicken shit move. It was a chicken shit move, though. It was in the middle of them being bad, and she called them out on what they were doing offensively, probably at the behest of, I mean, Jenny knows football. I'm not saying she doesn't know football, but it wasn't, she was not killing that kid like he made it sound. That's not what was going on.
Yeah.
So it's always been bullshit. It's always been, and he literally made his career off of that fucking statement, off of doing that. Oh, he loves his players. You know, the whole thing.
Yeah, it's
just all bullshit. And you know, and acting like they can't afford to recruit the way that Oklahoma does, and they're never going to be as good as OU is. Well, they're never going to be as good as OU is, but it's because of shit like that. You don't even go out and try to get a guy like GJ Kinney or, you know, I mean, look, there's guys out there that would love that fucking job.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it
Trailer,
does. Yeah.
They're going to GJ Kinney. Come on.
They're going to continue to do this because he is the winningest coach in program history. You know, but here's the thing is Oklahoma State became a program of note because Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders, and they rode that for a long ass time. Yeah. And that had nothing to do with coaching staffs there. Those were just generational kids. And yeah, Bobby Reed.
It was Bobby Reed.
But yeah,
it's who she wasn't dogging Bobby Reed though.
But I hate Jenny Carlson. I think she's
I'm not a fan of Jenny either. I'm not saying that I'm not taking up for her as much as I'm saying that it was bullshit what he did, and he gets so much love for it though. I'm not saying I'm not saying that it was a great look on her either, but I'm just saying that was the guy literally freaking made a career and has been there now for 20 years. Tell me anywhere you could be that bad against your rival and never win. If you want to call it a rivalry and you're that bad against your in-state rival.
It's
crazy
shit. Ryan Day doesn't beat Michigan this year, which it looks like that's somewhat of a given. But he doesn't. I mean, he's going to be on the hot seat, and that's just a few years. Yeah, here, Stephen. I'm going to comment on that. I got to go before too long here, but man, I'm not a big fan. You know, it does make sense. I'm not a big fan of this bowing out in the middle of the season stuff. Because at this point, I mean, listen, you can argue with me all you want, but when you bow out and you do this whole transfer portal declaration in the middle of the season, if I'm a head coach, I'm not talking to you. I'm not, because I know if it gets tough, you're going to think about
like BV. That feels like a no for BV right away.
Yeah. And we got two good kickers. So, I mean, we got two kickers who are doing the job that they're supposed to do. And so, but I'll say this is it doesn't matter. I don't care who it is, Barry Alexander, Colton Boomer. If you bow out and you say, hey, I'm hitting the transfer portal and redshirting, right then and there.
I mean, I tend to agree with that line of thought, but I think you got to kick the tires, and not every situation for each player is going to be the same. You know what I mean? Like there may be some extenuating circumstances where the kid maybe he's getting wrong, or maybe he's not receiving what he was told he was.
I don't know that it was crazy at UNLV as much as everybody thinks it was. I think UNLV did.
Yeah, I just think you got to kick the tires and find out what's really going on.
I don't think it was $1 million. I think it was $100,000, but they gave him $3,000.
Yeah, like I said, I like just I think each case, you got to figure out you know, what's really going on, or if that kid's just doing what's best for himself.
I don't think you're wrong about that. I think that, and I'm also, guys, you guys know that I'm not the dude that's going to sit here and kill kids.
No.
Over wanting their money, because I think that, you know, you need to pay them. I think that there's, I don't know what's going on with this kicker kid, but I would tell you that, do I think that they need him? No, I don't. I think they have 2 really good kickers. I think that it looks, I mean, look, the kid that came in for, you know, Zach, when he came in last week, he looked really good. Maybe that was, the footballs were an issue. Maybe they were, you know, the way that DG wanted the football wasn't good for the kickers. We heard that, you know, so whatever it is, yeah, Zach has been redeemed in my eyes too. And the thing is, though, I just think that in order for Venables to go after somebody, they're very deliberate about it. That's something that they're going to do.
Leadership
they
captains.
Correct.
Because listen, it's the opposite is Jackson Arnold right now.
Yeah.
Would anybody blame Jackson Arnold if he said, "Hey,
thank you,
I'm bouncing"? But he's going to stay there, and he's going to, because guess what? Is if you are a bigger program and you want to bring in one of these kids, what happens when it gets tough? Are they going to do the same thing to your team? You know, are you going to go out and promise them, you know, money? And you know, maybe with him, he's going, well, hey, here's
Jackson Arnold was the anti-Spencer Rattler last week.
Yeah. And you know that's hard on him. You know it's hard on him.
Of course it's hard on him. Shit. He was it had to have been hard on him. Not only did he get pulled, but everybody in Oklahoma, all the Oklahoma fans were killing him. Not all, but you know what I'm saying. There was a shit ton of people saying a lot of fucked up things about JA.
You guys were both at the game when Hawkins
I said he had to come out. I mean, I haven't pulled punches about it. I said he had to come out, but I haven't been ugly about him either.
No, where I go with this is when Hawkins did the flip and he had to come out because he went down, and they had to have him go over to the sideline. When Jackson ran back in, a lot of the crowd started booing. And I mean, I was pretty vocal, like telling everybody shut the hell up, because like you don't do that. Don't do that ever. Like not the best way.
Yeah,
I would even tell
Cross, and some OU fans pole vault over the fucker. I mean, that's all there is.
Yeah, they see it as the starting line, not the line you don't cross.
Correct.
And I would say the same thing is if you're a Texas fan and Quinn starts struggling, and you start booing him, that's the wrong thing to do. You don't boo it. I mean, just listen. Now, listen, if you want to boo like a play call, or you think you're supposed to go for it on 4th down, and you know something like that happens, sure, I'm okay with that. You can boo, and you know you could say, you know, everybody's going to want you to see you go for a 4th down, 4th and short, you know, close to midfield. But yeah, I mean, you booing a kid. Listen, I've never been a fan of that in the stadium. Behind your TV, do whatever you want.
Yeah, I know. I was talking about how I'm doing this shit.
I mean, even previous games before the Tennessee games, like there was fans like in the section next to us chanting like we want Michael Hawkins, and I looked at him, I was like, hey, chill, like we got it, but chill, like.
Well, when he ran out of bounds on that first series,
yeah.
You know, on the 3rd down, there were people
$1.99.
There were people behind me going, "Oh, well, that's a lot better." And I was like, "That's better because he didn't put the ball in harm's way. We can go to halftime now." Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Relax, folks.
And you know, my whole thing, and I don't want to like revisit the whole Jackson Arnold, you know. RPO.
No, we don't need to. I was just saying, what a great guy. What a great way he stayed engaged the entire game. Even that game, he was engaged in what was going on over there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
It's no, listen, it's everybody wants the backup quarterback. That's college football, that's big brands, that's smaller brands, that's NFL.
Not me. I've never been that.
Yeah, but I mean, the fan base as a whole is always rooting for the backup.
Yeah, no.
Whenever it's not going well, especially.
Yeah.
There were fans pissed off in the 49-0 game against Texas because they wanted General Booty because of his damn name. Let's just be honest. Like,
Yeah. Casuals.
Nick Evers.
There's guys like that, man.
Yeah, it's he Jackson.
Well,
the
I
thing
think
with
it's
Jackson,
I think Jackson Arnold's probably like reading the landscape, right? Like he's seeing how a couple of these dudes, you know, come out and said, "Hey, I'm redshirting," and they're getting lambasted on Twitter, and their characters questioned or whatever. And I think maybe that's a smart play by him in Oklahoma, because Oklahoma's going to take care of him. If he does decide to leave, like they're not going to withhold his tape. They're not going to do that. Like they're going to take care of him. And I think that's maybe a conversation that they had. Now we'll see how it plays out. But I mean, I think it's a smart move.
Yeah, it was. And listen, I had gone through every single tape. I've watched every single one of our games minimum of 4 times.
Yeah,
and each one of those times that I've watched the tape, I've watched the decision. And it's hard because when you're watching the tape, you don't know what the actual play call was. You can see what was going on, but there's so much wrong with our offense early in the season with blown assignments by the offensive line, receivers running the wrong routes, running the routes wrong. You can run a post route incorrectly. And there were so many times that Jackson just was making wrong choices. And it looked like I was saying with Peyton Thorne, once you start that snowball, it is hard as hell to turn around and come back the other way.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, we were all, you, me, Jay, everybody was saying, you've got to give him time.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it. Me and Big Mike talked about that the weeks leading up to it. He'd been on the show twice and we were saying the same stuff. You got to give the kid time. But it hadn't turned into what it turned in against Tennessee. With those, all 3 turnovers were, I mean, the fumble is the fumble, and you could blame that on the play call, but you got to hold on to the football. Even though if you make the pitch, he walks into the end zone, right?
Although I will say this, we've never run a toss.
So why are you doing a fake toss?
So why are you doing a fake toss? So that was a shitty play call, because also it gave the fans a lot. That's why I say, like, why, you got to know, because if it's just a fake
play call, because they don't run, you shouldn't run quarterback power with a guy that isn't, he's not 6'5" and freaking 270.
Hey, I look at it a little different, man. Like, hats off to Tennessee and that D lineman. He made a play. He got rid of the ball. He's got dislodged the ball, man. Like, but
yeah,
that's not factual, dude. You guys are gonna get smoked. You guys are getting smoked there, Texas. No, but all I'm saying is he had to come out, and now now you've seen the situation the entire second half with Hawkins. You've seen what Hawkins did, and look, I think they held him back for the better part of that game. I think they held him back for the better part of the game at Auburn, but we saw nothing but good decision-making. Nothing but good decision-making. In comparison, what happened?
He froze. He was in mid-sentence and he froze, so he'll probably be hopping back in here in a second.
Okay.
But yeah, it's putting the ball in harm's way. It is there's a lot of other talk around stuff that I've heard, and I don't want to continue the talk, but it's been said in the chat a little bit here too.
Sure.
About running different systems and stuff like that. But yeah, it's the thing is you could make that change. And there were a lot of conversations that I heard earlier in fall camp about teammates maybe thinking that Hawkins was the call.
Mm-hmm.
And it was similar to Caleb Williams and Spencer Rattler.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to give Jackson the chance, because you had to let him show everybody what was happening. And he got away with so many things against inferior competition. And so when Tennessee comes to town, those things all of a sudden got brought to light. I mean, he almost did the lateral turnover, the last one. He had another one earlier in the game to Deion Burks that was pretty damn close to being the same situation too. So, somebody asked the question earlier. Does OU win if Hawkins plays more in that game against Tennessee? I just say this is we saw Tennessee and Heupel pull back. I think one of the final plays was where Tennessee was like, all right, there's no threat from this offense, so we don't have to put the ball in harm's way. Nico got his elbow hit by RSJ, which could have been catastrophic for the program, not just for Nico and the game. But he got his elbow hit, and then a couple plays later, they threw that swing pass to I think Squirrel White, and Lewis Carter hit him about 5 yards in the backfield and just absolutely just destroyed him. And I think at that point, Tennessee thought, all right, here we go. We're done. We're not messing with this. Now, if you put Hawkins in and he starts moving the team, and Tennessee has to continue to put the ball in harm's way, I think there's a chance. But there's also a chance that they score more if they're forced to try. So again, revisionist history. I don't know. I can't say one way or the other. I think that it's not as bad as it looked, and I think that I think there's a chance.
I don't know
I
that they would have necessarily won. You can do the revisionist history all you want to. I think that if you don't turn the football over, even with JA, I think if you get 2 field goals out of that, I think you win the game then.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so
who knows?
And guess what?
But you gotta go through some shit. That's the point of we've been trying to say is you've been tested, you've gone through some things, you've seen. Now you know what you have with Hawkins. We didn't look. They would have if those plays didn't happen. You don't get to Hawkins because you don't pull the trigger on that move. And so what? You wait until later on down the line, and you lose a game at Auburn, or you lose the Red River game, or you lose whatever because he wasn't getting it. Because maybe he's not turning it over, but they're still not doing better on offense. And what we've seen, the difference is that this kid gets it, he processes it faster, he's not rattled by any of it. If you go back and look at his high school film, he got chased around the entire time there too. It's not really new to him. And he had 55 touchdowns and 3 turnovers his final year. That's a difference maker. He's a difference-making kind of kid. And the truth is, if you don't have that happen in the Tennessee game, it's going to happen somewhere. At some point, with all the injuries, you had to make this move. And until they did it, they couldn't grow. Sometimes you got to go through some shit, man. Sometimes you got to go through some shit as a football team. And when you get tested is when you find out who you are. Am I wrong?
No, that's 100%. And here's the thing is there were, we have in our Discord, we had 12-0 Island. And I think a lot of us were making the comments that, you know what? The team needs to lose. You need to lose, and you need to go through some stuff. This isn't the old school college football where one loss is going to, ruin everything. This is, with the playoff, you can lose a game, and so listen, there's still
and get in there, man.
I saw a stat the other day that was like the level that you have to get to, and it had Oklahoma at 8-4 with a chance to make the playoff. So again, a lot of football to be played between here and there, and a lot of damn good teams starting this week. But I will just say this is, this team is going to have to win ugly the rest of the year. That it just is what it is.
Sure. And there's no guarantees that they're going to the national championship game or winning the SEC or any of that kind of stuff. I'm telling you, they're going to beat Texas. We'll see what happens the rest of the way. Right. I mean, you expect them to beat Texas. I think that, and I don't think that Texas is near as good as everybody thinks they are. But you do have some games coming up down the stretch that you're going to have to step up and win on the road. And then you've got a pretty damn dangerous Alabama team coming to town. I mean, I think that they've got some clear issues as well. But the truth is, this football team is going in the right direction. That we know. If it's this year, if it's next year, whatever, you've got a real shot at being one of the better teams in this league. And it is the best league in the country. There's no two ways around it. When you have a defense like this, though, you're going to have you're going to have a chance every fucking week. Every week. They just got to get a little better. And I see that happening. You can see that happening because of who they have now playing quarterback. You literally haven't seen him put the ball in harm's way. And he's not out there trying to just play. He's not playing scared. He's not afraid to make the throw. He's making them when they throw it, when they give him the play. I think that the play calling was, yeah, they're ready for Saturday, Benji. Can't wait. Yeah. I don't give us a score prediction before you get out of here, Coop. I know you're trying to get out.
Man, I think the offense needs to put up 21. If the offense puts up 21, that means, what I mean is you got to have yourself, let's put it this way. I think the offense needs to put together 3 unaided scoring drives. And I think that if you can do that, you keep the defense off the field.
21 is what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay. And so my score prediction, I mean, at this point, not, knowing who is not going to be in and whatever, we'll get the first injury report here in 2 days, which will change on Thursday and then change on Friday again. But I'm going Oklahoma 27. I think Texas is 20.
Yeah.
So 27-20.
27-20. I think that's a good score if you do it. Norm's right over there. He's sleeping right now, guys. But I'll grab him over here in just a second. All right. What else? Anything else you want to add, man? When are you guys back on?
We're going to be, we'll do our midweek show here on Wednesday nights. We've been doing it. We've been bouncing back and forth 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So it's going to be one of those two. So come check us out. And then I'll be heading down to the Dallas area Friday afternoon.
Hell yeah. Nice. Well, if you want to jump back on with us on, I may actually have Tawi on with me this week. He had a big game the other day for Wisconsin. Wanted to talk to
He did.
I've talked to him a little bit. Been trying to get him in here. I'd like to, and I'd love to have Papa Stutz come in, and any of the guys. We talking to Mr. Woolard as well. Some of these guys, if they get an opportunity, but I'd like to get some more of these dads in here to kind of talk. So, Big Mike and all them. I think this week, I mean, obviously this is hate week, man. We're trying to talk as much about this stuff as we possibly can. So you're welcome to join us again this week if you'd like to as well.
Yeah, let me know. I'm going to try to grab Michael Tarquin's pops and Sexton's dad. Met those guys at the Tennessee games. And so pretty excited to do a couple more parent interviews. But everybody, keep the hate strong, keep it going. You know why we do this. And if you're heading down to the game, shoot me a little love on Twitter. Let me know where you're going to be at. I'm going to be making some circles with some of the big folks. So
you don't got an extra ticket hanging around somewhere, do you?
Yeah, I got like 25 extra. No, I do not as of right now. But I will let you know.
All right. Just let me know if you can, even if it's a deal or something like that. I'm just looking for something. See what we got.
Mike, we're getting our first one for the over.
So?
I think so.
Hey, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I know everybody wants it early in the game, but I kind of want to see my son get a little bit of playing time. So
not get ejected. Not get ejected.
Yeah, not ejected. We don't want one of those. But yeah,
if you guys don't know what we're talking, the over under on Mike Boganowski Jr. Personal fouls is 2.5 for the season.
Yep.
And so that's we haven't gotten one yet, even though he tried to
I thought it was coming in Auburn.
A backiotomy to the left guard.
Yeah. I thought it was on that cleanup one.
Brother.
That's where I thought it was coming.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, I was like, oh, here we go. And nothing happened.
All right, guys.
Like, okay.
All right, Coop. Thanks for coming in, man.
No problem, guys. Take care.
We'll holler at you soon. Eric Coop Cooper from Unfair Sports. He is the man. We appreciate him coming in here and hanging out with us for a while. Yeah, man. Hey, look, we've been seeing a lot. I think you're going to see him more and more as the season goes along. The thing is that the safeties have all just been lights out. Every time any of them get in, they're all playing well. RSJ is playing out of his damn mind.
And you know, when you look at it, like, and that's the thing, like, you know, if you're bringing my son in, like, you know, at the expense of who, and I think that's how you look at it. And
because Billy, you kind of set me straight last week on the Billy Bowman stuff. You're like, man, the dude's he's still the best out there, you know?
Oh, it's like, yeah, dude, he's a leader, man, and you know that you can't quantify that stuff. Like, it's not like a statistical category, you know, with interceptions and tackles and PBUs. Like, you just like that dude is
taking on a block to clean it up for somebody else. But like that stop on the goal line was, I mean, he took on a big, powerful running back that had been running through the defense pretty easily at that point. And he goes down to that big ass tree trunk of a leg of his and cuts it out from under him. I mean, that's putting your body on the line too. And I mean, yeah, the facts are this defense is that good. You know why I think that Oklahoma wins is because of the damn defense. I believe that this offense is going to do fine. I do. I've told you guys for a long time, no matter who it is, I've said I'm not worried about Oklahoma's offense. I've never been worried about Oklahoma's offense. There was times during those first 3-4 games, yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
It really wasn't. It didn't become a real problem until you play against an SEC opponent and you saw what you saw there. But as I said, without that, you don't end up getting to Hawkins. And now you have an opportunity to really be good. They're getting some guys back. I think they're going to be fine, man. I think they're going to be fine. It's a lot of overblown stuff. And look, we know what offense-only teams do. Take a look at what you saw at USC. Take a look at what you saw with some of these other programs that continue to lose. And, oh, guess what? Texas, we don't know what their defense is because they haven't played an offense yet.
Yeah.
I think Oklahoma could get real healthy there this week.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
It's going to be a great game. It'll be a great game. And I can't
always
wait.
a good football game, man. They're going to bring it. I love it that there's so many people that are saying OU has no shot, that it's a 14.5 point spread. I love that shit. There's nothing better.
Yeah.
Nothing like motivation of people telling you can't do it when you know damn good and well you can beat these sumbitches. You know it.
Yeah.
That's what they do all the time. Wanted to show that one. We'll go through this and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, man. There's some
I had that.
I didn't know Texas had a preseason all SEC safety.
That would be what they're talking about Makuba.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Makuba. What just happened to those? Oh, I know where they are.
Yeah. Well, hey man, you know, again, man, like seems like there's a lot of checks being written that can't be cashed. And it's, you know, I don't get on Texas, you know, podcast or anything. I imagine there's some Oklahoma fans getting in there talking big shit, but
yeah, but not like they do to us. I mean, every OU podcast, you see Texas people on there talking shit.
Yeah, and I like I said, I don't have time to hop on Texas podcasts. Like I wish I did. Maybe I might try to tune in. So I'm driving to the home of Jaron Kanek this afternoon for my son's JV game. Driving to Hayes, Kansas. Yeah, driving to Hayes, Kansas. So I might tune into find one to listen. Anybody recommendations?
If you want to get pissed off, go and watch the Orange Bloods because they're clowns. But the good ones would be listen. You should watch the shit talking one tonight. It'll be at 7 Central. That's the Horns Down podcast guys. Well, it's Horns Down Chris, and then he's got Seth Oliveris, and then they're gonna have Nino and those guys are really good. Steven and Nino, Steven from a Fanatic Perspective, and Nino from Nino's Corner. They're good. So I would definitely watch that if I was you. In fact, everybody should be watching that one tonight. That you've got the Red River Trash Talk, and you know they're all pretty good friends. But it'll be fun to watch that one because you know. There'll be a lot of trash talk in there, and it'll be a good fun. Again, you're talking about a group of guys that are really good as far as they're friends. They do a lot of work together, but this is the time of year that it's going to be real. You know how it is. Oh man, I'm trying to blow this up.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
All right, let's go into some of this, folks. Let's go into some of this of what the difference is. You know, obviously, the Red River, what you see from the Red River. History, series record. Yes, it's 63-51-5. They have a 12-game overall record lead on them. But you see there, they're 902, 382, and 32 in 123 seasons. Oklahoma 7 wins behind them all time in just 116 seasons. So that tells you something. Oklahoma 7 natties to 4 conference titles. Look at the difference there, 50-31 in the difference. I mean, guys, that's huge. So that's probably a little better, right? Can y'all see that pretty good?
Yep.
Okay.
Better now.
All right. So then 50-31 difference. The bowl record, they're 31-26-1. Oklahoma's 31-25-1. Playoff appearances, OU has 4. They have 1. All-Americans, Oklahoma 68. Consensus All-Americans, Texas 55. Heisman trophies, 7-2 OU. Let's look at the history because early on from 1900 into all the way up to 1945, which was the end of World War II, Texas built that big lead. In fact, it was 16 games of a lead at that point. You also had a couple of ties during that time period. You get to the next set of time when 11-10, it was getting a little bit closer, right? But let's take a look at something here, Big Bog. Let's talk about integration.
I like this.
Integration.
This is interesting.
Yeah. From integration time on, Texas integrated, well, they officially integrated the athletic program in 1965, but it was very gradual. They did not end up with a black football player until 1970 when Julius Whittier became the first African-American to receive a football scholarship and played varsity football at the University of Texas. Oklahoma, meanwhile, did it back in 1955 when they had open admission for black students, and Prentice Gott, a freshman, joined the team as a scholarship athlete, running back, wore number 38. He did go through his own little personal hell at OU back in 1956, 14 years before that, but also became a starter in 58 and set a record in the 1959 Orange Bowl. So during this integration time, since integration, let's go back to post-integration. What's the difference? Oklahoma has a 15-game separation on them. So going from then till now, and of course we know that obviously from 2000 till now, it's 17-8 coming into this weekend. Why do we know that Oklahoma can win? This is why. This is why. It happens all the time.
The receipts.
Proof. Whittier has a statue too. Yeah, from 1970. You guys, I mean, here's the thing. It is what it is, but the bottom line is you can talk about your overall record because that's all you have. That's all you have. Because basically since World War II, you haven't dominated this series. You dominated it early, and you've been playing football for longer. There's not much that you don't have anything else on them, period. You have nothing else on them.
Yep.
So
yeah, that's I like the conference championship numbers. That one's always
50-31 conference championships.
yeah.
I mean, it's 14-4 in Big 12 championships. You guys got your fourth one last season.
Yep. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Those are interesting numbers, man, and it kind of proves to the fact, you know, the Oklahoma fan base ain't new to this, you know what I mean? And we I don't know, it just seems like
There's always shit talking. Yeah. I mean, it's been going on for a long time, but they're going to tell you they suck Oklahoma sucks forever. They've been saying that they were going to win for all that time. All these times that you've been talking about winning, y'all hadn't done shit in 15 years. You win one conference title, and all of a sudden we're supposed to believe that that Texas is all that. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, that's funny. UT's Tennessee.
UT equals Tennessee. Yeah, they've been on that shit for a lot. There's as much of a fight going on there. And actually, you know, a lot of the Tennessee fans that were giving you and I hell.
Yeah.
After the show that we did, it's funny because they've still been making comments on those videos, but now I hope you guys kick Texas's ass this week and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah.
I think they kind of see what's going on. Look.
Yeah, hey Lane, I'm not gonna say I know it all, but I do know a little bit, and I wasn't wrong. I'll say it again. I wasn't wrong.
We weren't wrong. Yeah, you weren't wrong. We were talking about, you're gonna come in and dog walk us, beat us by 30. Come on, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll see what happens, see how good your offense and all that stuff is once you start playing some defenses with a pulse.
Mm-hmm.
And
Tell America. Yeah, see, look, I mean, the bottom line is Oklahoma fans know Texas is about to get humbled. And guess what? It probably doesn't stop this weekend because next weekend you get Georgia. And then Diego Pavia. You got to go to town over there too.
Yeah.
And you get that Alabama treatment. 0-3 all of a sudden. I'm still telling you guys, here's where I'm at. This is the prediction I'm going to make. I'll make my score prediction later in the week.
T-Boomer Super Chat, $1.99. We not new to this, we trust to this boomer.
OU's going to win this game, and Texas still loses 4 minimum. It's coming. Get ready.
Yeah.
Still, you're still losing 4. What do you say? We not new to this. We trust this. Boomer. Thank you, T-Boomer, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Not new to this. Yeah, their first playoff appearance. Tell them, Eric. Yep. Look, the people the one thing that I love the most is the Texas fans are still sleeping on Brent Venables. Like he don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
His pedigree it's unquestionable. The guy just gets it done. The guy
they might, you know, for some people that aren't like sleep at the wheel, like you will probably know what kind of coach BV is after Saturday. I just have a hunch that you guys might be like, maybe that BV is maybe he's a real deal. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Yeah.
I think that if you've paid attention to this program, you know damn good and well that there's a difference from Lincoln Riley till now. This is not Lincoln Riley's Oklahoma anymore, and that's nothing bad about that.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? That you might be right, man. If Texas A&M plays like they played last on Saturday against Texas.
I think a lot of people are going to have a hard time
getting
beating
a lot of people's ass.
Yeah.
They play like that. They're getting in a lot of people's ass.
No doubt.
Them boys look good.
Yeah, no doubt. Guys, we've had well over 1,000 viewers in here. I want to thank everybody for that. Would love to see you guys get them likes up. We're at 122 likes for 1,100 plus viewers on the show, which we definitely appreciate that. But yeah, man, we'll be back here tomorrow night. Coach and I will be on Hall of Fame College Football. Jason, the coach. We'll talk more about this and the other big games. There's a lot of big games going on this weekend too. A lot of big football games going on this weekend. That K-State CU game ought to be a lot of fun. There's let's see. Ohio State, Oregon is going on this week too. A lot of big football games, man. So yeah, something to do with, listen, I would say that had a lot to do with it. Missouri is trash. They definitely, hey, we've been calling that for a year too. The number one loss look, that was huge. 3 weeks in a row. 3 weeks in a row, number one's about to go down. So, okay. He said, if OU does win, do you think it'll be easier win than last year? I've been saying that I have been saying that all along. I think that Texas is good on offense. I don't think that it's going to matter because they haven't played against a defense like this. Yeah. I think they might be better off with Arch, but I also think that Arch will struggle against going up against this defense for the first time. But Quinn, I mean, I think you may end up seeing both of them. I think there's a chance that it could. You want to give us a score prediction? I can go ahead and give a score prediction. I may change it by the end of the week, but I'll give one. What do you want? What do you got there, Big Mike?
So, availability report, injury report. I don't care. That doesn't matter. I still think it's going to be what it's going to be. And I'm going, what'd Coop say? Did he say 24-17?
He said 21-17. Yeah, 24-17, didn't he? Something like that. Yeah. 24-17, I believe.
Yeah. I think it's similar. I think it's somewhere similar right there. I'm probably gonna go. I'm gonna go 27-17.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna stick around that area too. I think that they score right. I'm gonna say 28-14. I think they may get a defensive touchdown or two.
Yeah, I used mine up against Auburn, and it actually happened. So I can't go with I think I did it 2 weeks in a row.
They turned him over 3 times last year, and so he had a fumble and 2 picks last year. I think that could very easily happen again, whether it's Quinn or Arch. But I think that they seem dead set on playing Quinn. I think that's great. He's going to come in a little bit. First off, he lost to him last year, and he's going to come in a little bit rusty too. So I think that's a great ingredients for a pick 6 or whatever right off the bat. I think that they may end up with 1 or 2 of those.
I'm thinking strip sack fumble.
I can see that happening too, man. That's been happening a lot. That's what they're really good at.
Yeah.
Trace Ford, little Trace Ford strip sack fumble maybe, or the law firm. Look, man. Hey, Desama Cole.
Yeah, I think that's what it. I think that's the likely, if there is a TD, it's a sack, fumble, scoop, and score. Big man Tutty.
Big man Tutty. Purple, I hope you're going the right way. Coop said 27-20. Did he?
Okay.
All right. 28-10 says Sooner Brandon. 31-24 or 38-34. Depending. You think he's going to get high scoring? Okay.
Yeah, I think the under's the move on this as well.
I think the under's the move on this too. I don't see that really going too high. Look, that you don't. What you want is for the offense to stay on the field long enough to get your defense be real. I think that turnovers will be the difference. I think as Eric says this. I can see, like I said, I think if you get anything over 30, it's probably going to be due to turnovers kind of deal.
Yeah.
And I think you may end up there anyway. But I definitely look. We know what wins this game. It's rushing the ball well, get over 200 yards, you're gonna have a good day. Wow, look at this one.
Yeah, that made me laugh. That's why I chuckled.
All right, I'll take it. If it happens, it'll be great.
Oh man,
It'll be great.
dude,
Brandon, 21-17 OU. Thomas about to go crazy. Watch.
Hey, if it's 63-14,
oh, this will be fun.
Somebody needs to come get me. Somebody needs to come get me, take me out of the Cotton Bowl, get me out of the Texas State Fair, and get me back to the hotel room because I will be insufferable. All right, because out there, listen.
So will I.
I'm too old. You know, I'm too old to be doing all that. Just give me somebody to come get me and take me out of there.
It turns into a game like that.
Yeah.
Turns into a game like that. We're all going to be insufferable, boys and girls.
Oh my God.
We're all going to be insufferable.
I need somebody to keep me out of jail.
Facts. Well, guys, we appreciate everybody coming in here, even you Longhorns that are coming in here giving us hell. We appreciate it. It is hate week, so we'll just say fuck Texas. But good times. Appreciate everybody coming in here, and we will. Hey, make sure you hit that like button, folks. We got a bunch of people that have been in here. Don't be a freeloader, and it's free to hit the like button. Don't be a freeloader. Make sure that you hit that like button, and we'll see you all on the next one.